for the bus driver to determine, because it is registered as a public service vehicle. And so the law does not allow for you to determine who enters and leave your vehicle once that persons want to access your service.
Interesting.
It's an offense, actually, if you do that. If you prevent anybody from entering on your bus, your public service vehicle.
Hold on a second. I think you touched a nerve there, because Granny now unmute his mic.
Yeah. Well, of course, it is an offense. I won't be able to put my finger on it, but I can research it exactly, and we can highlight that. The only time that a person can be removed from a public service vehicle is if they are misbehaving. That's the only time.
Disorderly conduct.
That's the only time a person.
But Granny, go ahead, Granny. You're a bus driver, and then we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back to our program. Go ahead.
Sergeant Israel, there's many things that bus drivers and so can do. But I'm gonna say this, right, in terms of hygiene and stuff. And I want you to not call the country. Do not call the country. Back before 2015, right? And this was an everyday thing. Coming from the east side, you used to stop by a college down on the east side. Outside of Cairn, coming into Cairn, you used to stop by. I'm not start to laugh because you know where I'm coming from. Right? You used to have to stop by that school and pick up people. And that is those people hygiene and ease causes them face with that every single day. But I'm telling people them. Every single day they face with that there. But you have to pick up the people them. You have to pick up the people them. So I'm just saying, like, certain things, no, you can't think. Especially if people in a bus stand, right? And you pull up, right? Really and truly, it's an offense if they ain't jumping in because they're in the government bus stand to you. You're supposed to jump in, right? So you still can't, even though you're going to talk about concrete and then kind of things and so, a concrete is not an everyday thing. It is not an everyday thing. Sometimes people eating in a bus is an everyday thing. And sometimes you go in your back of your bus and you see more heap of chicken comes and you see it and then kind of thing. The other day I went southeast, stopped in churches to pick up some people. By the time I got in the back of the bus Saturday morning, go clean out to put in my things and to go home. Catch up now and I see it behind there. Who got to clean it up me? But me stop in churches again. They can't go me and get me go churches again because of that. Right? But anyway, let's take a commercial break.
Thank you, Granny. We'll be back right after this.
St. Kitts and Nevis, get ready to be inspired. From May 28th to May 30th, the Caribbean Society for HR Professionals presents Loud 26, Harvest of Inspiration, happening at the St. Kitts Marriott Beach Resort. This exciting regional conference will bring together HR professionals, business leaders, and decision makers from across the Caribbean to explore the future of work in our region. Whether you're leading a team or growing your career, Loud 26 is the place to be. Attend in person or virtually. Register today at cshrpteam.com. That's csharpteam.com.
St. Kitts and Nevis, get ready. The third annual Jesus in the City Parade and Festival is coming to Independence Square on Saturday, May 16th, 2026. Join thousands of believers from across the Federation and throughout the Caribbean as we unite in a powerful celebration of love for God and love for people through music, the arts, and culture. The festivities kick off at 11 a.m. with a dynamic opening ceremony. At 12 noon, the parade moves out from Independence Square, filling the city streets with praise, energy, and excitement before returning to the square for a grand concert celebration and community festival. Register your church or organization, enter a float or group, or become a sponsor today. Visit www.jesusinthecity.com to get involved.
All right, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. This segment of the show is being streamed live. We are on YouTube. Look for on the road, ZIZ or ZIZ on the road, and you will be able to view this show. We're still working on getting Bucky and Granny integrated into the show, but you'll hear them, but you won't see them. Good morning once again, Sergeant McGuire. How are you doing today?
Good morning, GQ. It's always a pleasure to be on the road in relation to providing information and education to our listening public. And so let me take this opportunity to say a pleasant good morning to our ardent listeners of ZIZ and the On The Road show.
Thank you.
Yes.
What's on your table for discussion this morning?
So as you notice, I am empty-handed.
Yes.
That is because it's general discussion in relation to some of the things that we have been observing and we are seeking to address. We consider them anomalies. I know sometimes because of the laxity in the enforcement, you have not been strict on the enforcement, that it is sometimes believed to us, left to assume that it is not an offense or it is not anything that is contrary to the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act. So when we notice that these things are happening, it is our responsibility to come and remind the general public in relation to that. So I will start with...
Before you start, I Bucky's in the classroom, so he raised his hand.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bucky.
Yes, I follow the protocol that has already been established. Just to continue where I left off, Maguire, you touched on a topic there about the bus driver have the right to remove someone from their vehicle if they're being disorderly.
Yes.
How would one go about doing that?
Well,
yeah.
It's always advisable that you don't do it on your own, because it can become confrontational and escalate into something that can be otherwise addressed. So it's always advisable that you seek the assistance of a police officer. So as a bus driver, it is wise that you either go to the police station or you travel to a point where you can access the assistance of the police. And the thing about it, what is important to note, wherever if you have not reached your destination, then you will have to pay the bus. You still have to pay the bus driver, and then you can also be forbidden not to travel on the bus if it depends on the nature of the misconduct. The bus driver has that authority at that point to determine that he doesn't want you to patronize the service. So it's only under that circumstance. I'm not saying that as in a first instance, then you decide, well, me not want you back on your bus. But you can exercise that authority. It's similar to a licensing premises, a public place. You go to patronize a business, that owner has to serve you, unless you are being disorderly or you might have do anything that is in breach with the law. So you always call on the assistance of the police to address that. And so I have done that before. I have had that done before, but that is what the law requires.
Good to go, Granny. Bucky? Okay, hold on. I don't think that's you. Give me a sec, my brother. Let me see if I can get this reset. In the meantime, you were going to address a concern.
Right. So, yes, I want to start with, and these anomaly has been highlighted on our Facebook page, would have attracted comments. So sometimes when these posts are being made, we looked at the comments, the number of follows in terms of that, and we know it is of particular interest in relation to that. So one of it that was recently happened is when people license their vehicles and they keep putting these stickers. They are not removing the previous year's sticker, and after time it builds up, and that can become an obstruction in relation to the law, and the law specifically speaks to the only thing that should be on your windscreen is really your license decal in relation to that. And so anything that will present a hazard, a safety hazard, is something that one should be take note of. Now, other than the fact that it's a stipulation in the law that you should only have a decal, it's not something that the police will enforce in terms of law, but we will rather encourage persons. So we inform you of the safety risk, and we expect that you will, from a cooperative standpoint. One of the principles that we always practice is the policing by consent, meaning that without we have to come and police you, enforce certain things, we rather that citizenry, that civic mindedness, and so you can comply once you know, well, it's something that is really not supposed to happen.
Gotcha.
The other thing that seems to be coming an anomaly, and this was because we have designated inspectors to deal with the licensing of vehicles and the guidelines, keeping with the inspection guidelines. And some questions were raised in relation from the inspectors pertains to the registration plate. People tend to, with the registration plate, they put designs, they put the name, they put some kind of fantasy, something that is connected to them, might be sentimental to them. They'll really restrict that. You are not, the only thing that should be on the registration plate is the registration number. So nothing should be able, because it should be visible and it should be legible. So the different font styles that people I know it look fancy, but it's not in keeping with the law. So the law specifically requires the size, the space, the height of the numbers in relation to your registration plate. The reason for that is that if something happened, it can be easily recognizable from a distance. We have had instances like a hit and run. People hit your vehicle or touch your vehicle and they continue driving, and even within that peak time, you can't even register the number plate because everything happens so fast.
Too much emotions.
And things like that. And so it can be a difficulty, but that is what the law is really trying to prevent. So the identity of the vehicle, which is the registration number, the physical identity, there should be some legibility and some visibility in relation to that. And so I thought it important to bring it to the general public, because there is some feeling that we should regulate the persons who make the number plate, similar to the tin conversation. We don't think so, because they'll place the responsibility on the owner. And the thing about it, if you go and you access a service, should we really police the person making it and you demanding a particular product?
I think you touch a nerve there. Hold on, let me take this call. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, GQ. Good morning, Macho. Good morning.
Yes, morning.
I call in reference to the drop off zones and the drop off spots. You know, you got some marker and doctor and some marker and drop off.
Yes.
So I wondering who the drop off spot them belong to. The drop off spot belong to the business because in front of them, or any business place pay for the drop off spot so that it becomes them. Yes.
Right. So that is one of the things that I was going to address, but you preempted. So I'll just by answering your questions.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is that in the regulation, the law provides for the licensing authorities a discretionary powers based on the regulation of traffic. The The licensing authority can designate certain areas for specific parking for a period of time or whichever stipulated. Now, these authorized or designate parking, they are not personal to anybody. They're not personal. So even though you may make the application, it is not owned by you. It just means that it is something to facilitate whatever your need or the request is, and the licensing authority has the discretion in determining whether that is necessary or not. So, for example, the drop-off place at the business points are really for the business places to unload or offload. Where, in the case of stock taking, is not really intended for a use of a customer. So not because you're going into Island Bakery, there is a drop-off there. It's a parking for you as the customer to park and go into Island Bakery. That was not the intent. The intention of the drop-off is solely for stock taking. And so where the traffic flow might be disrupted, then there is an allowance for that. And if you notice some of these drop-off, there are timings. They're not all over, but they have timing for it. It might be at 11 to 3 in the daytime, sometimes at different points, and so on. So it's something that is provisional. Yeah.
Right. Because my reason for asking that is because some business, if you have a drop-off spot, let's say me, you, and GQ have a business, right? And the three of them line off. The one drop-off spot is supposed to be able to facilitate
for everybody.
All three.
For everybody, yes.
Yeah, but some people that go on that the drop-off spot belongs to them.
Right.
And they're coming out and telling you, oh, my vehicle coming in, so you can't be there. You come to drop off, but they're telling you, my vehicle coming, so you can't be there. You got to move.
Right.
So they're going on like the drop-off spot belongs to them, the business.
Right.
And some people even put out cones blocking off the spot, but you're saying, oh, they're putting off cones because the vehicle coming. But when you come to drop off and you move the cone, they're coming out to tell you, oh, you ain't supposed to move the cone because we truck come in, but the drop-off spot ain't theirs.
Well, sometimes when I go into town and I see the cones, I move them.
Right.
Because they're really not supposed to. They don't have the authority to put that. And you correctly said that and this is why I want to enforce it. I realize that it's an anomaly where people personalize the space, and we understand that you might be the one who suggested it or requested it, but it doesn't give you ownership of it.
Right.
Similarly to the reserved parking for doctors and so on. Now, it's a little bit different with the doctors because it's medical, it's emergency, they go and come, and so you don't want to have a doctor being inconvenienced in terms of having to look for a parking space if they are coming to the office. It might be a case where that they have a patient at the office and they have to go. So we take those things into consideration, and the discretion is exercised. So that's why we have them reserved for doctors, maybe for government ministers or senior personnel in the civil service, but they are not really personalized.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for your question, man. 465-1977 and 662-8674. Good morning, you are live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, good program as usual. Have anyone indicated an issue coming out of window, going into St. Paul's, in the area where Jeffrey Miles Brooks, there's overgrown hedges extending over into the road that makes you have to go over on the other side. Has anyone indicated that issue as yet?
I'm not aware of it. I don't even think I have the exact location you're referring to in my mind. But perhaps something like that you can point out to the environment, and because I know usually they do the environmental cleanup in relation to the hedges and so on, and so that is something of importance. So if you don't mind touching base with the environment department to bring it to their attention, they will. It will be a quicker resolution in getting that situation corrected.
Because I'm very much surprised that no one else has indicated that issue, because it's very obvious. You actually have, as a matter of fact, the growth of the hedge is so extensive that it's also impacting the fence, the wire fence.
Yeah.
Pushing it out into the road as well.
Right. So you could probably even bring it.
Hazard,
you could even bring it to the district police attention, and they can see how they can also address it. Because if it's going to present a safety hazard in relation, not only because of the overgrown edges, but if there are other things that might affect visibility, then it should be corrected as soon as possible.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your assistance.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks for your call. Let's take this next call. Hey, good morning. You are live.
Hi, good morning, GQ.
Good morning. Yes,
hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning to the officer.
Yes, morning to you.
I have one question. Out there by factory bench, where we call factory bench, that kind of monument that you all have in the middle of the street there, I think you all should move it. It's just my suggestion, because you cannot see the oncoming traffic from down by Hotspot area by the light. When that light gateway is those vehicles just blazing up the street, and sometimes you have to push your head almost out to see the oncoming traffic from that light down by Hotspot gas station. It's an obstacle, and it could cause accident. As a driver, I don't like it. Number two, Sunday coming from church, from in the country area, I'm telling you, I'm minding my business. I'm looking forward because I can't drive and look backward. I have to keep my eyes in front of me. These drivers overtake about 2, 3, my car make 4, on a corner. On a corner, and I'm only calling him because I think the PPP or whoever he is say that if anybody knock down anybody and they get killed, also what will happen to the driver, etc., etc. When sometimes it's not the driver's fault.
Right. You mean the
Yesterday going down there to West Independence Square Street.
Right.
There by National Bank. It's a good thing I was going down there at a moderate speed, slow. The motorcycle came and he didn't stop. He just poof, turning in Bank Street, I think its name. The same thing happened. What you all plan to do with these motorcycle people? Because they're endangering themselves, and they can also endanger the driver, not because we're sitting in a closed vehicle. These people are driving without conscience. You understand? And it's not good to say it's a lawless country, but everybody just looking out for themselves. They paint over the streets, like they stop and different stuff. And these people still not adding here to the signs. You're supposed to be coming up on your left hand, they're coming on the left hand, and they're over on your side. It's cringe me every day when I have to see how grown-ups does not follow the law. So my calling this morning is because I'm a driver, and if I misunderstand anyone, I won't like it. But the kind of things that happening out there in the streets, it's uncalled for, it's unbearable, and you all have some, not you all, you have some, what must I call them? Some people out of their mind. They live in the streets. They will hit your touch on your vehicle. They will cross you and all of these things. It's not safe out there for the drivers, also for the pedestrians. So you all have a very, very hard task on your hands. So please look into that monument right over there by Factory Bench. It's blocking the traffic from coming from down by Hosford area. Thank you, and you have a good day.
You too. Two very good points you have made. In relation to the first point, I can do some inquiry as to where we at in relation to the consideration of having it replaced. I'm not certain if I know it was placed there by the Adventist church, and so I don't know if they have a role to play in the removal or is something that is done from the government standpoint. So I'll do some inquiries and understand, but my information is that the consideration is to have it replaced, removed and put at the roundabout in Molyneux. That's the alternative place that is identified. So in terms of where we at with that, I'm not sure, but I can inquire and see how we can get some movement with that. In relation to the driving, we continue to educate and inform and encourage persons to use the road. Think about not only themselves but the other road users. And if you are reckless in your driving and the event of anything, then you will be held accountable. So is not something that we hope for, because as less accidents we can have, it will be better for us. But we know that there are these instances when people might have really be unreasonable with their driving. The scooters, is something that is being looked at. Proposal has been sent as to how they should be regulated, and so then we await to see what will be the effect in relation to the regulations upon implementation. So until then, we just continue to ask people to be cautious as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do, with your permission, if it's okay, I'm going to pause, take a break, get our 9 o'clock report in. I have two concerns.
Right.
Can you stick around for them?
I can.
Okay, great.
I have a meeting after, but I'm flexible.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks. And for our listeners, don't forget, subscribe and like our YouTube channel. We are streaming this show right now. It's on YouTube. Look for ZIZ on YouTube. The program is called On the Road. We'll be back right after this.
Attention all drivers, I'm begging you to slow it down, down.
Notice is hereby given that the 17th Annual General Meeting of the members of First Federal Cooperative Credit Union Limited will be held at the Kuna Conference Center, Caribbean Confederation of Credit Unions, on Tuesday, 12th May, at 5 p.m. for the following purposes: to read and confirm the minutes of the 16th Annual General Meeting held on the 17th of June 2025, to consider matters arising from the minutes, to receive and adopt the report of the Board of Directors, to receive and adopt the Auditor's Report and audited financial statements, to receive and adopt the Treasurer's Report, to receive and adopt the Credit Committee's Report, to receive and adopt the Supervisory and Compliance Committee's report, to receive and adopt the Nominating Committee's report, to declare and adopt a dividend, to elect directors and committee members, to appoint the auditors for the year ending December 31st, 2026, to adopt resolutions for the setting of maximum liability, to discuss any other business. Adjournment. For those members who wish to attend virtually, please visit www.firstfederalcreditunion.com to register. The various reports can be accessed via the website.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Are you looking for a place that provides skilled nursing care and rehabilitation services to people with special needs, illnesses, injuries, or functional disabilities? Are you searching for dignified facilities to serve the elderly? Then search no more. The Grange Healthcare Facility is simply the best place to satisfy your needs. It is the first of its kind in St. Kitts, situated just 7 miles out of Bastia, with beautifully landscaped grounds in serene and tranquil surroundings. The Grange offers residential care places, daycare facilities for seniors, convalescent care, rehabilitation services, overnight, weekend and holiday stay, and complimentary therapies. A caring and experienced staff has promised to take good care of you or your loved ones. For more information and bookings, call 465-8020 or 466-5525 or fax your requests to 466-8221.
You're simply the best.
This is your 9 a.m. news update. I'm Zai Hendrickson. Good morning. Members of the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Service took to the streets of Bastia on Monday to celebrate World Firefighters Day. The date itself is May 4th, with the Federation celebrating Labor Day on Monday. The SKN FRS members used Tuesday, May 5th, to bring awareness to the day itself with a parade of the officers and the appliances used by its members to serve the Federation in cases of emergency. The day itself is used to honor the bravery, dedication, and sacrifices of firefighters around the world, whilst also honoring those who lost their lives in the line of duty. Continuing locally, the government says it is making progress in relocating farmers from agricultural lands as part of its broader development plans. Minister of Sustainable Development, Environment, Climate Action and Constituency Empowerment, Dr. Joya Clark, provided the update during Thursday's sitting of the National Assembly. She said the Agriculture Sustainable Development Land Transition Program is moving forward, with most farmers complying and transitions taking place in a smooth and equitable manner. Dr. Clark also pointed to extensive public engagement, including meetings with farmers, media appearances, and community outreach aimed at keeping stakeholders informed. However, she said challenges remain in the Kayan and large areas, where 2 farmers have not fully complied, despite deadlines being extended to allow for harvesting, delaying access for more than 400 landowners. She said a joint technical working group has also been established to support the transition process. The government says it will continue to focus on fairness, transparency, and proper land use as it advances national development. Regionally, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service believe they have dismantled a criminal gang linked to approximately 24 home invasions across central Trinidad over the past 6 weeks. The group, known as the Tall Boots Crew, targeted communities including Cunupia, Chaguanas, Freeport, and Las Lomas beginning in late March. They got their name from the residents who noted the use of tall garden boots during the attacks. The activities came to an end on Saturday morning after 8 members robbed a 70-year-old farmer in Cunupia. Officers and soldiers gave chase and a gun battle ensued. 3 suspects were killed, 2 arrested, and 2 others escaped. That was your 9 a.m. news update. Join us again today at noon for these stories and more. I'm Zai Hin.
Are you looking for a place that provides skilled nursing care and rehabilitation services to people with special needs, illnesses, injuries, or functional disabilities? Are you searching for dignified facilities to serve the elderly? Then search no more. The Grange Healthcare Facility is simply the best place to satisfy your needs. It is the first of its kind in St. Kitts, situated just 7 miles out of Bastia, with beautifully landscaped grounds in serene and tranquil surroundings. The Grange offers residential care places, daycare facilities for seniors, convalescent care, rehabilitation services, overnight, weekend and holiday stay, and complementary therapies. A caring and experienced staff has promised to take good care of you or your loved ones. For more information and bookings, call 465-8020 or 466-5525 or fax your requests to 466-8221.
At The Cable, we believe in giving back because when our community thrives, we all do. That's why, as a company, we make it our mission to touch the lives of everyone in St. Kitts. We spearheaded the renovation of JNF Hospital lobby to ensure better care for all. The Cable sponsors free Wi-Fi in every community center across St. Kitts, so no one is left behind in an increasingly connected world. We stand with communities through every moment, big or small, in culture, education, youth development, and more. Y a ti también, comunidad latina. Cuenta con nosotros. Estamos con ustedes. And when it comes to customer service, we set the standard. We're just a call, click, or visit away because you matter to us. Join the company that truly cares. The Cable, more than service. We're family. Somos familia. And we're proud to always give more where it matters.
The specials at Domino's are hot, hot, hot for any occasion. Hot right out of the oven. 1 medium, 2 topping pizza, and 2 20-ounce Cokes, only $35. Free Coke with your lunch until 2 p.m. Small, 1 topping school child lunch special, only $14. 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas, and a 2-liter soda, only $69. 2 large, 2 topping pizzas, and a 2-liter soda, only $92. So come on down or call and order now and experience our tasty oven-baked goodness. Domino's, the home of satisfaction.
For hot and wild, call Domino's.
Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're going to get right into the program. We have 2 concerns raised before we went to the 9 o'clock report. And as I indicated, they are very long, right? They are very long. So, well, not very long, but it's not a quick address.
Right.
It's not a quick address. So let me just put it that way. It's not very long, but it's not a quick address. Let's deal with the first one. This person writes, listening to the...
You could probably summarize it. If you prefer to read everything.
Yeah, I prefer to.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I read it to you off here, but for the sake of our listeners and the person who sent it, at least they know their message was read. Listening to this conversation about registration plates, I realized that not everyone in the general public can understand the rules regarding the size and spacing of the letters and numbers. I don't think the vehicle owners should be ticketed for the wrong size and spacing of the letters and numbers. What should be done is to regulate the people making the plates. They also go on to say the mistake the government has made is to allow people to start making plates when the government themselves used to make them, when they had control over the plates. They need to revisit the laws governing the registration plates to ensure that only authorized manufacturers can produce them, thereby preventing unauthorized production and maintaining quality control. Also, the government needs to restart painting the signs on the road. And finally, what are you, as it relates to law enforcement, what are your plans to combat illegal scooters running around town that aren't regulated or licensed?
Right. So let me take the last one first. In relation to the scooters, we would have present a proposal in relation to the regulation for that, and we recognize that some of them can be classified as bicycles, others can be classified as motorcycles, based on the speed. And so what we use as the gauge, because our minimum speed is 20 miles per hour, so anything that is within that speed or more will be classified as a motorcycle.
Okay.
And so therefore, it will be required to be insured and licensed. And anything that is less than the 20 mile speed will be classified as a bicycle. And as you know that there was a time when we licensed bicycle, but it's no longer. So that will thing. I do take the fact that sometimes how people use them, they use them irresponsibly. And so I guess we'll have to continue to educate and inform. For example, some of these electric bicycles, I see that parents sometimes will buy them and give them to children, some very small ones, and they have them. So there is some safety issue, I think, really because of the size and how low they are, if they're using them on the traffic, helmet and those things will have to be a requirement in case. So even though they are bicycle, helmet, from a safety standpoint, will have to be a requirement in relation to that. So those are some of the things that are likely to be what a regulation of these electric bicycles will look like.
The scooters?
Yes, the scooters and so.
Okay.
Now, in relation to the other part, the registration plate, as the person highlighted, there was a time when they were regulated, and there were specific persons who were supposed to do it. But the government always encourages entrepreneurship. And so regulation, while regulation might have its place, sometimes it can limit that. I am not against having standards in standardizing whatever within the law. But the thing that is it, that most of the time the owners request specific designs and specific design from the registration plate. And so it begs the question, well, if the person providing a service and you go to the person and you decide you want it that way and what's not and so forth, and the person provide that, I really think that they deliver a product for the business that they are in. And it may sound a little bit conflicting that I'm supporting somebody not complying with the existing regulation. But my point is that the person who is making it, if you decide that you want it, it means that you know the law does not allow for it. And so if you request it and it was provided to you, you must be held responsible.
So let me see if I understand what you're saying clearly. And I'm going to use an example. I'll use both of us.
Yes.
You're providing a service for plates, registration plates. I come to you and I said to you, I want my plates, but I want them done this way. And you said to me, okay, no problem, I can do that for you. I get the plates, but now I am being pulled over by an officer, and the officer is saying to me, that don't fall within the requirements of our way. And I'm saying, well, that's not my fault. That's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
The person who provided that.
Who provided.
But what I'm getting from you is that you're saying, you should have said to me, well, hey, I can do them for you the way you want them, but that is not within the registration parameters.
Right, and I accept that, DQ, that the person providing the service should bring to the person requesting the service attention that this is not in keeping with the regulation. But
they should say something, because
yes,
if I'm doing business with you and you don't say nothing to me, you should warn me. You should say to me, well, GQ, I can do this for you, but that is not the requirement. So if I do this is on you now. Whatever happened, you gotta face the reality of that. I'm paying.
Yes.
I'm providing a service, but the reality is this is how it should be done.
Right.
But you're not saying that to me.
Well, the thing about it is that I am saying I accept that it should be told to you, right? But after it being told to you and you decide, well, you want it still, what am I should do?
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, I could understand where you're saying that the law is now, the penalty is now placed on the owner.
And the owner.
I understand that. No.
Right.
But what I'm saying to you, in the current situation that we're in, I've bought registration plates before, and no one has ever said to me, well, by GQ, that is not, the requirement. This is the requirement. If you want to do this, you gotta deal with the penalty when that come, not me. No one has never said that to me.
Well, I accept that. I understand that. Not that I accept it. I understand that that happens in cases, but we have to go back to because the thing about it, this is considered a moving violation, and so the person who is driving at the time of the violation is held responsible. Ultimately, the owner, in the case where it is not the owner driving at the time. And so the law places that responsibility at what we say legally, the owners and the driver, and the owner rather, in relation to the compliance of the law. And I think that if that is persons are cognizant of that, their priority should be not so much the design, the flashiness of it, is the priority should be coming in alignment with what the regulation requires. And so that is why I'm not moving away from the owner and place the owners and the person who is making providing the product. It's almost similar to the tinting and so on. A person tint the vehicle, you go to the person who is doing the tint, you bring the tint to me, I put it on. Now what should I do? I should say, well, okay, I'm not putting it on because it's not legal, but you provide it. You provide it and you say you want the vehicle tint. My service is tinting vehicles. And so you can expect me after I tint your vehicle that I am responsible because I put it on. If that's what you want, I only give you what you want. And so it's a balancing act, GQ.
I hear
that there might be some responsibility on the person providing the service, but ultimately is the owner of the vehicle.
This person is weighing in on the conversation. They're in McHenry, Illinois. Good morning, Jason. The number plate should have the business name on the back. So if there's a violation, that business can be held liable. What you say to that? Kind of contradict what you're saying right
and
now,
the back of the plate, meaning the side that is not visible?
No, the side that is visible. So if I'm driving, you could see the license plate number and the business underneath. It's
well,
like
remember again that the law, you cannot put you should not have anything other than the registration numbers on the plate. right? That is why there is a consideration for what we call vanity plates.
Right.
I don't know when, how soon that is going to come in effect.
Right.
But vanity plates is something where you can, you have the standard in terms of the thing. So you can use design, you can use other things, but you must not overshadow the visibility and the legibility of the registration number.
Gotcha.
So you pay for that.
Right.
I don't know when and if that is going to be a realistic proposal in relation to that.
Hold on, let's take this call. Hey, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Officer.
Yes.
It's unfortunate some comments you made a little earlier. The law is the law. If the law says so, at the moment until it changes, that's the law. The people who design the number plates manufacture them, if you want to use a term. And they know what's going on. So, if you all request that they bring them in just like the owner of the vehicle, because make them say who the thing was done by. St. Kitts is a small place, so I can't see why the designers don't know. Not that because you're paying them, you think the man can give me money to go get somebody wounded or kill them, and they can, I ain't going. I'll go set a fire on somebody's house. I wouldn't do that. I know you're wrong. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. The issue here is right and wrong. The law is the law up to now, so you're supposed to follow the law. And I want to ask you, it seems that somebody asked a little earlier. These electrical scooters, what are they classified as? That's one. Why are they allowed to travel on the island main road? And some of them towing a small cat behind. Why these things happen? And if they're paying a license, those are the three questions for now. I got a hell of a lot. But leave that for now.
Okay.
So tell us about the scooters. I see a lot of foolish things that they do. And they travel. I learn a bit on the Bell Road sometimes. And the speed, I see this thing coming down and darling, as they say, between vehicles going this stop. Them and motorcycles. Why you all don't just put traffic cameras in the traffic areas? These things we all got, say, radar, gun or whatever they are. They had them there long time. People can test them in courts and win. But maybe you got updated by version. Nothing is wrong with having them. But you want cameras and the stuff like that. A lot of foolish things happen in right there in Bastia. And police, sometimes police are wrong and they're doing nothing else. May say police could be everywhere at the same time, because that's impossible. But I don't believe police don't do their work. A lot of police, in fact, a lot of people work for government, they don't do their work. And our problem with these things, most of them is enforcement. Have a good day, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for your contribution, caller. Yes, well, with the scooters, like I said, that presently there isn't any regulation, and so we understand the concern, but we, as you said, some of them are very fast. Those fast-moving ones, we intend to classify them as motor vehicles, and so they will require to be insured and licensed. Those that are less fast, and still there will be regulation in terms of safety, but they will be classified as bicycle. With reference to I missed my train of thought in terms of the other one. What was it he was asking about again? The registration plate. I want people to understand that I am in support of standardizing, in relation to persons who design them, that they must stick to the specific requirement or what the regulation requires. But the standardizing can affect, have an effect where there is less, the opportunity for entrepreneurship might be limited. And so while you want to standardize, it means therefore that it still comes down to the point that the person gets a product. Because at the end of the day, one of the things is customer satisfaction. And so if the person requests a particular product and they are satisfied with it, then that is the performance of the service provider. But it might be in conflict with the law. And so I am saying that you can be told or be reminded that this is not in keeping with the law. But what happens if you insist that is what you want? Who should be held accountable?
Hold on there. Go ahead, Granny.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Granny.
We had this conversation a while back a time about license plate. And this was one of the things them that somebody turned on and said. Now, I gonna go to the people then who doing the plate, and I gonna tell them I want my plate look like this. And when I go license my vehicle, I take off the plate what I design, put back on the natural one, right? What is in compliance with the law, go and license my vehicle, and then when I put back on my fashion license plate. Right? Now, I'm going to say this to you, Sarge. You as the sergeant, and there's always people above you. If somebody break the law, give them the ticket. We ain't supposed to be going around talking about plate. When people got on the wrong plate, give them a ticket, and you're going to see how quick they take it off. Every day we don't talk about plate. Who design plate, from who ain't design plate. Forget about who designing plate. Is you got it on your vehicle, you're paying the penalty. Nobody could say that they ain't no, because they know. The last say black letters. You got some people license plate, the 5 of them look like S. And this is what you turn on and said this morning, that sometimes when you got accident, you can't make out the license plate. Why you cannot make out the license plate? Because people chatting from the black letters. Forget about the argument. Give people the ticket who got on the wrong license plate. End the story. Because you know the law and everybody else know the law. We had this conversation last year. We ain't supposed to come up with it again.
Right.
The people them. Since January, I get a message in my phone saying, yeah, we're going to clamp down on the license plate them. But the license plate them still the same. But anyway, another thing, one more thing I want to say. On holidays, the streets them that are one way, they turn two way now. Because I call your boy Warren, Monday, after the man.
Yeah, I know.
And you got people, even police and all, coming across on Central Street, right? And it's supposed to be, and when I gonna tell a policeman, I slap look like a police officer, me and I go to watch why I tell people, because I don't take them things serious, you know. A one-way street is a one-way street until you have on a certain time on top of it. And this is if our government and all supposed to make money, not because it's a holiday, don't feel like you could use a one-way street as a two-way too. And all in the evening, at 7 o'clock, a man still bouncing across on one-way street. That's why I want to be your inspector, you know. Sergeant, I want to be your inspector. You might turn on that one, you know. I want to be your inspector. Just 7 months. Just 7 months I want. You can go do my work. I listening.
Right. Okay, Granny. Yeah, the thing about it is that we must be consistent with our enforcement. Once our enforcement is there is inconsistency, can create confusion and things like that. But we at the same time we have to understand that sometimes that there are situations, and within the law the licensing authority has that discretion But I do accept that if some way is one way, it is one way. And if there is a timing, certain times, because I don't remember any sign that make reference to public holidays, just the timing. Like on a Saturday, you could, anytime after 7, on a weekend, you can continue to travel easterly along Central Street. You can travel that. So there are signs that give you the timing in relation to that. But with one way, most one ways are specific in terms of directional travel. It's either up or down in most cases.
All right, we're going to wrap up the conversation here. I know you have your meeting to go to, but before we go, a caller raised the issue about Newton Ground and the hedges on the fence. Someone else just raised the concern a while ago, so I guess they missed what you said. So can you share it for them, please?
Well, what I'm saying is that if there are hedges, you will get a quicker fix if you approach the environment, because they have these persons who go around and they do the cleaning, and so it's just a matter of pointing it out to them. If you bring it to the police, then we have to go and find the means or the resources to get it done. And so that is why I encourage that you can bring it to the attention of the environment. And Jiki, in wrapping up, one of the biggest thing why I decided this topic this morning is the parking and sidewalk. It's really becoming an anomaly. We see it happens on Lozak Road, we see it happens at the cable, and very, very, very frequently along the market. The problem, and notwithstanding CNC, that's one of the areas that we are going to be strict. The street between the former CNC supermarket and the back of Sands complex. A matter of fact, we have had calls, and elderly persons and other persons have been calling. I've went and assessed it myself, and I realized that the sidewalk is literally being utilized by parked vehicles. And so that's one of the areas that we are going to be strict with the enforcement, because it just cannot accommodate parking on both sides and pedestrian with the allowance for vehicles to continue to utilize that road. And so this is one of the challenges we are having, why we are really taking a firm stand. Because when you park on the sidewalk, and remember, pedestrians are also part of the traffic. They are considered traffic as well. And so you park on the sidewalk, you force the pedestrian to walk in the street or by the edge of the street, and then you present a safety risk. So these things that I take the time out to point out to us, I really want to see some improvement. I'm asking for cooperation in relation to that from motorists when it comes to utilizing the road. The road is not, they are not only used by vehicles, motor vehicles, they are used by pedestrians. And we have to always think safety is all about safety at the end of the day.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Sergeant McGuire, thanks for being here this morning.
Yes, and thank you for giving me a little extension and to get across some of these important concerns. Yeah,
you're most welcome.
All right, thanks.
And don't forget to subscribe and like our YouTube channel. Let's see if we can get those numbers up some more.
Need to stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live.
CNC Trading Limited Industrial Site is seeking drivers. You must be over 21, have a valid Class